We are just getting this breaking news in from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. They have just released a statement that puts a number on how many jobs will be threatened when those tariffs go into effect tonight. According to the top official, that's Tom Donahue, he is the head of the Chamber of Commerce representing thousands of U.S. businesses. He says these Trump trade policies will hamstring the U.S.'s robust economic growth and will threaten, here it is, as many as 2.6 million U.S. jobs. Let us bring in the former U.S. ambassador to Germany, John Emerson, because the European Union is already saying, you know what, we will not let the unjustifiable and unjustified U.S. measures go unanswered. They've already put a number on there, $7.5 billion worth of tariffs will be slapped on U.S. Canada is also already putting in levies because the United States put in levies on our top allies. What's your first reaction to all of this right now?
Well, I think it's going to be a long and challenging environment for our trade negotiators. I guess three thoughts. Number one, the steel and aluminum tariffs were essentially imposed because of concerns we've had as a result of China's dumping on steel on global markets, thereby depressing prices, making it hard for high-wage economies like ours to compete. This doesn't impact China at all. We get less than 2% of our steel and aluminum from China, and perhaps working with our allies to push hard against China might be a better way to address that. Secondly, the inclusion of Mexico and Canada, who were exempted so long as the NAFTA negotiations were ongoing, is certainly a signal that the administration doesn't think that NAFTA renegotiation is going to be concluded anytime soon. And third, you have to also consider not just the European reaction to this, but the fact that the administration has also threatened to impose secondary sanctions on companies that continue to do business with Iran.
Right.
So the European Union is also dealing with that as well. So it's a very complicated three-dimensional chessboard right now on trade.
Would you call it a war?
No, I would not. And the reason is, if you look at the vast amount of trade that goes on between the United States and the EU, that goes on in the NAFTA zone, and let's not forget about the $25 billion or $50 billion of tariffs that have been itemized for China. The fact of the matter is that still maybe adds up to less than 15% of the overall trading relationship. It could develop into a war, but I think at this point you'd have to say it's a pretty healthy skirmish at maybe slightly worse than that.
Okay, I don't know, because you've got a lot of people very anxious. The market certainly doesn't like it. The Dow is down 207 points. With the Chamber of Commerce putting this finer point of 2.6 million jobs, it says, are now threatened by these tariffs. Do you believe that?
Well, I mean, I have no idea how you come up with these kinds of numbers,
well,
but here's the reality.
Maybe from the past, sir.
The reality
maybe from
is
the George Bush tariffs that were kicked in back in the early 2000s, where a lot of jobs were lost and they had to reverse them rather quickly.
No question about that. And the reality is that we have benefited enormously from the rules-based trading environment that has been put in place over the course of the last 70 years, since the end of the Second World War. We've benefited enormously. Now, we may have a trade deficit on certain goods and services, mostly on goods. On services and some of these trading relationships we have, we're doing pretty well. And we have an investment surplus when it comes to billions of dollars that are invested by European companies and in fact, by Asian companies in the United States. BMW, for instance, now makes more cars
in the US.
South Carolina than it does in Bavaria, and that's Bavarian Motor Works.
And I have been, you having been the ambassador to Germany, I've been to Vance, Alabama, where Mercedes-Benz years ago opened the SUV plant and has employed a lot of people. So why do you think that we are going so hard and tough against our allies who actually employ United States workers here in this country?
Well, I think if you were to ask the president why he got elected, he'd tell you two things. He'd tell you the wall, which is effectively a metaphor for being tough on immigration, and he would tell you his position on trade, which, by the way, wasn't all that different from Bernie Sanders' position on trade. And so I think, he feels this is a core issue for him politically, and he needs to push and push hard, and that's part of what's happening. But I think the danger, of course, is all these unintended consequences of that, and we may well see that as reflected in the Chamber of Commerce report.
Well, which is just out, and folks, we were the first to bring it to you, so we're keeping this very close eye on what's going on with all of this and how the markets are reacting. And we started to go back down a bit lower than before that headline was hit. John Emerson, great to see you, sir. Thank you very much.